Hi everyone, it's Toni here again, bringing you a super fast layout using the journal from Romantic collection from Stamperia. Now I've used a 8x8 pad. I've still got a few things left over in this paper pad, as well as some little scraps as well. I've used this collection before, but I love to come back and use some leftovers every now and then when I can. I've also grabbed out some flowers and did a few prep things before as well. I'm trying to be a little bit more organized when it comes to doing my videos or tutorials, things like that. More along the line of just my basic put together videos. I like to be trying to be a little bit more organized so you guys can get this video done a little bit faster and you don't have to, fast forward quite as much. So I started off with a cream or a vanilla or ivory cardstock base, and then used what I like to call the smushing technique, which is basically just an ink pad on the top of a plastic packaging, spraying it with water and just rubbing it around and putting it onto the cardstock. Then I grabbed one piece of the 8x8 and I cut that up into 2 inches wide each, so they're 2 inches by 8 inches. I then had 2 of the bigger pieces, which you'll see will go on the top and the bottom layers, and they were leftovers from another project I did. I think they're a bit closer to the 3 inches rather than the 2 inches wide. I used them as my top and my bottom piece when I was layering. Now, as we know, I do love to ink and to distress edges. This time I've just gone with the pine cone ink and left the edges nice and clean and straight, so no distressing, just to add to that softness of the page. I started from the bottom with my layering and then I've come to the top. There is a reason why I did this, because I actually want a little bit of a gap when it comes to the middle of the page. So I am double adhering like usual. I put on my 1 strip of double-sided tape and then I'm going around the edges with the glue. And as you can see, just there is my little empty spot. I wanted that little hidey hole spot there to peek through. And then I grabbed out a very large circle template. I think this may have been a cutting template quite a while ago. It's not actually mine. It came from my mum's collection and I don't have the extra pieces for it. So I generally now just use them as templates, whether it's for drawing around or to cut around. Usually I just use my scissors or something like that if I need to. But I love this technique of just putting a few layers around, a little bit like a wreath, and putting the circle around and then give it a little scribble on little bits here and there. Just adds that fun little texture sort of element and layering element to it. Now, like I said, I do another little little sneaky bits here with the ink. I did wipe off part of that because I didn't want it to be too much. I just want a little sneaky bit of color in there. I didn't want to overdo the color. I just needed tiny little highlights because of the flowers that we're putting on later on. It does have that same color, so it's like a corally apricot-y color. As I mentioned before, I did do some prep work with this layout. And I've been trying to be a good girl and actually do a bit more prepping when it comes to my videos lately. Now, I probably won't do too much when it comes to tutorials, but when it comes to just basic putting stuff together, basic design, then I'm going to try and do that a little bit more and be a bit more organized. So I've cut out a frame, which was part of a design element in the 8x8 paper pad. And of course cut out a large clock that was part of an element of the design as well. Fussy cut out a whole heap of other little goodies and adding 3D foam tape to them and just laying them into the cluster on the bottom left corner. Now you can do this however you want to. You don't need to follow anything that I do, of course. This is all just for inspiration, and I'm just adding in things sort of where I think they may go. Of course, a little bit of this, even though I have tried to speed it up a little bit and I've tried to be super organized, it can still get a little bit boring. So please do feel free to fast forward at any stage, because this is that boring bit where I'm just adding clusters to layers and, you know, little embellishments in there. So feel free to fast forward if you'd like to. I always get amazed when I hear back my voiceovers or even just the videos about the noises and the surround sound that I've got from nature straight outside the windows, whether it's the cars on the road or the birds. We've got so much natural wildlife around us that I don't think I go through any videos ever that don't have a bird call somewhere in it. So, you know, they're almost like a little Easter egg, all those little hidden Mickeys. I've always got a little hidden bird call in there somewhere or other. So now I've done with most of that bottom cluster, I'm going to start on the little mini cluster up the top. So Christmas has just passed here, and we had a really lovely day, and I really hope that you all enjoyed your Christmas and your holiday season as well. And I do thank you very much for joining me today and checking out this video. Like I said, it's only a very quick one. Thankfully, due to being able to speed it up, it does get a bit quicker. Now, silly me did have these sticker doilies. These are Kaiser Craft sticker doilies. I had them set aside for this, and I completely forgot about even adding them. So I'm now just trying to fit some in where they can go. They're supposed to sort of go underneath, and it just isn't going to work. So I had to put it off to the side of the frame instead of going underneath that large cluster. It still works, and you know what, in real life, as I have the layout in front of me now, it actually looks really quite nice. Okay, so I'm just going to finish off my talking now. So I do just add in some flowers in here, both the apricot-y coral sort of flowers. I put in some white small ones as well, some twine there, and at the end I throw in some tiny little coloured beads as well, just to get different elements and, you know, little textures on there. It's always fun to have something for the eye to catch as it moves across the page. Again, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have fun and get some sort of inspiration. The basic design element for this layout specifically was that you can use scraps from an 8x8 album and turn it into a very quick layout. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to sign myself off now, and please feel free to continue watching. There are some photos at the end of the video, of the layout that you can have a bit of a closer look at as well. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy scrapping. Bye.